Kids, welcome back. Boy, you just keep, I don't know, you guys over here are looking very positive. There's a couple mice over there I'm feeling a little negative from, but that's okay. How y'all doing? Outstanding. That's positive. Hey, why don't you come on in? Have a seat. Come on, sit down. That'd be cosmic humor. Anybody doesn't want to. We're working on cosmic humor. It's kicking my butt sometimes. I'm going to try to stay away from cosmic humor. In fact, I don't even want to be funny on this stuff because it's the last thing I want to be is funny. Funny man, like that. Wedding Crashers, those two funny guys. That little kid comes around, hey, funny man, make me a balloon, funny man. It was a funny movie. Well, it had some positive and negative to it, but won't go there. I was going to go right into 8th grade, but then I was thinking last night how when kids, when you hear, be careful what you're thinking about, is that ever true? Now I was going to say, I know, there's people saying, thought? That's ridiculous. I can't see it. I can't touch it. Imagination, that's ridiculous. There's no such thing as imagination. Well, when they say dreams, your dreams come true. Now, they do on many levels, and literally they can. But just put that on the back shelf. I was going to say, thought is the most important thing on planet Terrific that you have to maybe consider. Just consider this. Not recently, it's been around for a while. I don't know why it isn't being put out there, but it takes one millionth of a spark of electricity to make any thought. Well, that's pretty interesting. Well, that means what? We're electric. We're electric. We're a battery. So we can be charged or not so charged. You go look around at people. Some of them looks like they could use a little more energy. What are they thinking about? Well, if you're telepathic, you can tell, but otherwise, you got to work on that. And no limitation. Got to keep that in our back shelf too. We'll get into that. I'm glad I got thought. So when you think, so you can think positively, kids, or you can think negatively. It's entirely up to you. So what are you choosing? What do you feel like you want to choose? I'll think positive today. I'll think negative tomorrow. Hey, I might think a lot of negative today. I'll think a lot of positive today. That's kind of a 50-50. Just think, I'm going to say, the more you know, the less you judge. But I would say also, pick one. Stay with positive, stay with negative, or not. But you'll get a return much quicker when you do one or the other. 100%. On this universe, I believe it's all you got is 100. The percentages go up to 100. Maybe other universes you get to go to 1,000%, but I don't know. Nobody wants to talk about any other. This is the only universe, so I don't want to start any arguments. We'll stay with just one universe. Uncle Martin still says it feels like it's a little limiting, but I don't want to get anybody too upset. So that's what I'm going to say. Positive would be, well, positive thoughts would be corn. Have corn. Negative thoughts would be weeds. So do you want to, kids? We're all a farm. Let's say a 3-acre farm. What are you growing? Are you growing corn, or are you growing weeds? Sometimes we're growing corn and weeds. Sometimes they're together. So you know about the weeds and the corn. You better grab the weeds early. And if you don't, you got to let them grow with the corn, or you're going to hurt the corn. That's the way it goes. I used to do some farming. Actually, I want to grow some more corn. But we're not going to go there. So I got the thoughts out of the way. Corn, weeds. Other than that, I was going to go to 8th grade. Then I thought, remember, some of you didn't even go to the beginning and all this. It was how to get home. and you got home okay. But then I was saying the second time it was something like, God forbid, I said the worst scenario would be if you peed your pants. Well, we got you out of that. And then I was thinking yesterday, I guess there is a worse scenario if you pooed your pants. Well, that would be worse than peeing in your pants. So remember that scaring game that Uncle Martin used to play when he was 11 and he stopped? Remember? Come back, brother, come back. So I didn't play that game scaring anyone anymore. So I don't know. Maybe you could learn by that. Maybe not. I don't care. I am concerned though. And well, let's just say it happens. It happens. Maybe it was a food combination, and you didn't relieve yourself like I told you to do before you go, because you're gonna have to go arm wrestle that guy no matter what happens. So you gotta. Well, let's just say the worst scenario, you didn't get to the bathroom in time, and you were having problems already in the morning. A little diarrhea, whatever. It was a food combination, something you ate, whatever. And now you're sitting in the lunchroom, you're far away from the guy, like I told you, because you're the littlest mouse. So you're the farthest away, but, well, I guess you've made some friends, all right? And now you're looking across to that guy, and he's the guy that said, after school. So you're going to have to talk to him about, arm wrestling first. Like we said, I don't want to go over that. I'm just saying we're in that negative, the worst scenario. You pooed your pants. Well, I got something for you. Sit down. I got something for you. So you're now sitting a distance, and he can't wait to get to you to take whatever he's going to take from you or whatever. So he looks at you, and you go, and you say, "Oh my God, I did this." And everybody that was sitting around you, they leave you by yourself. And this guy's now, he's over there, and he's wondering, why did everybody leave this guy? But he's not looking at you so mean. He's more inquisitive. So he's done eating, and everybody's gone, and you can't get up. You gotta sit there. There's no water to drink. There's no one because it's a different area that you've relieved yourself in, and he's now coming over to you, and he's come closer, and he smells something, and you have a straight face, you have a poker face. It's like nothing happened to you. Hey, it happened. It's not bothering you, all right? And by the way, don't let it bother you. Trust me, and I'll tell you why. This is what's going to happen. He's going to come up to you, and he's going to say, "What's that smell?" And you're going to, straight faced, you're going to say, What smell? What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. He's saying, there's something going on here, buddy. He's going to say, there's something going on. And then he's going to smell, he's going to know because it's coming from you. It's very apparent. And you're going to still say, hey, I don't know what you're talking about, buddy. What's the problem? Well, what's the problem with you? I ain't got no problem. You're staying firm. Nothing's bothering you. This happens every day. I'm sorry, I'm trying to keep it straight face. I'm trying. But you say, no, nothing's wrong. And he's saying, there's something wrong here. And then he says, you pooed your pants. You say, well, yeah, maybe. I don't think so. Maybe it's just, you say, no, I didn't. I did not. I just have gas. Just stay with gas. That'll be perfect because he's going to say, it's not gas. He's going to say, know what he's going to say? He's going to say, nah, man, it's not gas. And you know what? He's going to say also, you're going to say, hey, by the way, what was it that you wanted to talk to me about? And he's going to say, you know what? It's not that important. I'm sorry. I'm trying to stay. I'm trying to stay. Okay. He's going to say, you know what? I don't think I want to talk to you. In fact, kid, you know what? You know what? You have your own problems. You have your own problems. This happens to you all the time. Just stay away from me, all right? I don't want you. I don't want your shoes. I don't want your shirt. I don't want your pants. I don't want your hat. I don't want your money, okay? I don't want your allegiance. I don't want anything from you. I want you to stay away from me, all right? You come near me, I'm gonna beat you up. And that's what you want. You just want to be left alone. And then you can say, this is perfect. You're gonna say, you don't want to be around me? You don't want to be around me? Did I do something? I'm sorry, I'm just trying to keep a straight face. It's really tough, kids. I might have to do this over. I said I'd never edit anything. Like you know, I've made so many mistakes with numbers. I'm dyslexic thing, and I don't want to go there because it's limiting. I'm going to fix that, I promise. But, hold on a second. This is too much, man. I'm just saying. You can then ask him. You ask him with a straight face. You say, you don't want me around? Okay. I thought I could join the club. And you say, no. It's best you just stay over there. And you say, well, okay, all right. My dad told me. And you go through the rules. Just the 3 rules. My dad told me never to start a fight, okay? And as you well know, I have not started a fight at this time. And by the way, he told me also not to run from a fight. And I have no plans of ever running from a fight from you. And by the way, he said, if we ever do have to go with a fight, he told me that if he ever saw or heard of me not arm wrestling first, well, I was going to get the black belt. He says, you deserve a black belt. No, he would say, yeah, really? And then you say, okay, so you want to arm wrestle? And he's going to say, no, thank you. And he'll go back to his friends and, you know, hey, why aren't we going to go you said earlier we're going to do this to him. Why aren't we going to do this? He says, no, that kid has his own problems, man. We're all going to stay away from him. And that'll be, I'm sure that's the way it's going to go. So I just wanted to say, the worst scenario, as you would say, it would be the most negative thing that could happen. It's going to come out positive for you, okay? So that's all I wanted to say there. Oh, man. But I got that out of the way because it was getting tough. So now I wanted to say also, you have kids. You have times where you get different people. It could be a teacher, could be a mom, dad, it could be a cousin, an uncle, that say certain things to you as you're growing up, and at whatever stage you are. You know, kindergartners, preschoolers. I'm sure you have somebody, a mentor that's already helping you. And then through high school, college, you all have your old mentors of someone, a teacher that's always stood out. Out of 20 teachers, I think there's only 1 or 2 that really stood out, that said things to me that really stuck. For instance, like Aunt Nancy, she said, I was walking, I guess I was a little low, I was unhappy. I was looking down while I'm walking. And she came, I guess I was walking toward her, and she got in my face and she said, I don't ever want to see you looking down again. When you walk, you look straight ahead. I don't ever want to see you looking down. And it was on different levels, however sad you are, whether it's not to look down, it's always to more look up. That was what she's going to. The second thing she said, never go into a business venture ever with someone with dirty elbows. I found out later it was two times that she was absolutely correct on. So something that I don't want to go there either. Could be hygiene, but I don't know. Kids, wash your elbows if you're going to go into business. And the other one was mom. Lots of stuff with mom. Libraries. Alexandrian libraries back when everybody was burning libraries back then. And I said, why were they burning libraries, Mom? I don't like libraries. She says, well, there's a lot of knowledge in libraries, and there's people they don't want you to, knowledge is power. So there's a lot of people that just don't want you to have any power. So that's why a lot of books, there's been over the centuries, and even now they want you to burn books. So I guess there's knowledge there. Or they'll say, no, those books have too much of, yeah. And these are probably prejudice things. But in reality, it's a learning process. We all learn. Sure, we've been prejudiced, haven't we? Look at the history of things. Absolutely, we've been prejudiced. But I think we're learning now that prejudice is negative. And not to judge is positive. And those people that are still prejudiced, as I said, they got just more things to learn. See, it's not to judge them. It's just that they're working things out more on Planet Terrific. That is the schoolroom of life, right? The game of life, right? Or game of life could be positive or negative. Game of life. Then there's the game of trouble with the bubble. Then there's positive and negative anywhere you go. That's all. And the other one was. I guess Jojo, he was an Italian guy. He was my cousin, younger. I was younger, he was older. Like I was 13, very pliable too. I was in my 8th grade. We'll get to that. I got it since I brought up 8th grade. I was in 8th grade. He came by with a brand new Lincoln, brand new. He had $1,000 suit on, looking pretty sharp. And then he says, hey, let's go for a ride. So we go for a ride, puts the 8-track in. Now you gotta have to Google that, kids. Nobody has an 8-track anymore. So it was like a big square thing. He puts it in, and it was Alice's Restaurant. Get anything you want, Alice's Restaurant. It was a big hit back then. And actually, they made a movie. I saw the movie recently. I never saw the movie. I took 1 year of film study. That's all I got. But it was a crummy movie. I mean, 16 millimeter or something. But you might want to check it out. Critique it. I'm a critiquer on everything from all the movies I saw, and I saw a bunch of movies. I grew up a movie hound and cartoons. I critique cartoons, obviously. Maybe you don't know that yet, but anybody know that cartoon, kids? The dog, the cat, the mouse. They're all drinking pills, magic pills, and when they do it, they're all at each other's throat, and every time somebody drinks the magic pill, they get bigger, and at the end, it's a big thing around the house and all that. That's all I remember. And then at the end, on the planet Earth, all 3 of them are standing on top of the Earth, and I don't know who was the biggest one. That's what my question was, but I did see that there was only 3 of them. The animals, of all things, there was the dog, the cat, and the mouse, all together on top of the world. Anybody know that one? Please write me a note. The other one was gravy. Oh, no. All right, I was going to say, good gravy. Gravy. No more gravy. What cartoon was that? All I remember is that movie. The names. I got the faces of the guys. One guy played Braveheart. Really fantastic actor. And he was in a wheelchair, getting his eyes taped open by Captain Papard. The guy didn't have any hair, that guy. And he also played in Bobo or something. He had long blonde hair, white hair. He was a wizard, that one. But he was a negative actor in that one. And he was the guy taping the ears, the eyes open, the eyes open. And then Braveheart's looking and a bunch of pictures. And then it was gravy, gravy, no more gravy. And what cartoon is that? Please, somebody write me a note. Okay, those cartoons. And then from there, okay. Oh, Jojo. Yeah, I'm sorry. Alice's Restaurant. So he's saying, you want to be happy? I said, I was born smiling. And he says, are you happy? I said, yeah, I think I'm happy. He says, you want to be really happy? I said, I'm living to be really happy. And so he said, well, this is how you're really happy. Is that so? how do you be really happy? He says, money, 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 money. You make money, you make a lot of money. How much money do I got? Jojo, how much money do I got to make? He says, you make so much money that in your mind, what you've thought of comes true. You grab everything that you've thought about and you're going to be happy. I said, really? And he says, there's another thing. There's another thing to be happy. What's that? And he said, women. You got to have women. Yeah, women? He says, yep. You got to have 30 women by the time you're 30. You got 30 women by the time you're 30, you're going to be happy. You're going to be real happy. I said, okay. I'm down on women and money. I'm down on money. I'm a paper boy. I'm the ace paper boy. I got 150 dailies, 250 Sundays. I'm the ace paper boy. I'm making a lot of money. I'm helping mom. You know, I'm winning all the grand prizes, man. I think I can make money. So he said, okay, well, you're on your way. So I'm just saying, kids, there's certain segments of life you get to where you get people that really help you. You think that they're helping you, and you have no other way of looking at it. It's just, that's what you got to do. And you got to do it until, well, you don't do it. And that was that one. Was there another one in there? Uncle Lou. He wasn't a pastor yet. And he told me something. Two things. Okay, the first thing was, okay, Uncle Martin was a smoker. They called it weed. They call it medicine now. But at that time it was weed. And you go to jail. Well, it wasn't funny. But it was something that happened that people got caught. They were some of the growers were doing well. They didn't get caught. Or they were paying people off. I don't know. But they were making some money. And then there was the other thing he said. Well, yeah, I guess he knew I was smoking. And then he said, yeah, I thought it was 13 with JoJo. No, I was 18 on the railroad. That's what I'm saying. I was a qualified brakeman at 18. And it was during that time, I believe I was living with them because we were roomies. I had to get away from nanograms just because I had to. I said, Uncle Lou, I've already got this. I got away from nanograms, so I'm up in this one room thing. But the lady, because, you know, you got to get women. So the lady said, she had a daughter, but she says, there's no women here. You can go up those stairs. You got one room. There's something you can cook on if you want, but there's no women allowed. I said, okay. Well, I did have that one girl up there, but before I was going to get caught on that, I said, I got to get out of here. So I said, Uncle Lou, come on. You got this big house and everything. Why can't we just be roomies? And he says, I don't think that's a good idea. And I said, oh, come on, let's do it. Well, it'll be fun. It'll be great. And he says, okay, you can move in, you know, until you get a place. And till you make some money and get a place. Because I was on the railroad, I was going to make a lot of money, which I did. I made a whole lot of money. So I'm saying, okay, this is great. Me and Uncle Lou are going to be roomies. So that went pretty well. But in that course, I guess he might have smelt or heard something. And he says, you know what? And he never said anything other than this. He said, you know what? If I'm going to get high, I'm going to climb a mountain. I said, oh, that's nice. I like climbing mountains. I wasn't, well, I kind of knew what he was talking about. So there was that. And then even before that, he said something that stuck with me all my life. And even to this day, he said, make sure all your life you are able to military your own weight over your head. I said, okay, that sounds pretty positive. I can climb a rope. I'm going to lift them weights. I can do that now. But that stuck in my mind. Even today. Today I can do it. Excuse me. Even today I can do that. And I was talking to him the other day, you know, and he says, yeah, I'm a pastor. And he wrote a book, fantastic book. I suggest maybe you want to look into that. I don't want to give out any names. I don't know if he's going to put it on the market or not. But what I'm saying is he's a good writer, positive writer. And what I was going to say on that. Yeah, so I talked to him recently. Actually, it was like last year. He says, yeah, my birthday's coming up, you know. And I said, oh, really? And I was working on something, and I'm thinking, hey, this is really coincidental, you know, that I'm making this thing and all that. So I didn't tell him yet, but He says, yeah, my birthday's coming up and everything. And I said, yeah, you working out and everything? He says, yeah, I'm still working out. I said, hey, that's really positive. And then I didn't get into, can you arm wrestle, or can you lift it over your head? I got to call him again in that. Anyway, so what I'm saying is, I made something for him, and I didn't send it yet. I got two things, and because what he used to say is, he says, and when you do that, when you lift over your head like that, he says, you're going to be strong like bull. And so when I was last, it takes me a while sometimes to make presents, and I had these antlers that I was putting together. And what does this look like, kids? Does this not look like a bull? Come on. So this is what Uncle Lou's gonna get. He doesn't know it yet, but hey, this is like pretty cool, man. I mean, anyway, I got something else, but I'm not going to show you that. It has to do with this. And I don't know. So there's a couple of people that stand out and do things for you that really are helpful. And I'll tell you, all my life I was thinking, I'm gonna military my own weight over my head. So I'm saying I still feel pretty positive. And I was going to say real quick, when they say, how old are you? How old are you? Hey, how old are you? I'm only 3.5 years old. What are you, baby Huey or something? You know, I mean... Well, he had problems with numbers too, didn't he? And jumping in water, all the kids were pretty upset. But he did take care of that fox and the shark, if you remember. Everybody became friends with everybody. So, anyway, cartoons. Let's get away from the cartoons. Dad said no more cartoons, no more Three Stooges. In fact, you're going to watch Channel 8, which was like a PBS KTR thing, and they didn't even have Big Bird back then. But there was a little mouse with a nose on his back, and I'm thinking, wow, these scientists, they're really going crazy here, aren't they? And they've even gone more crazy, and I don't even want to go there. It's kind of negative, I think, but man, they think it's positive. So what are you doing? Corn can be, when you're thinking, you can be planting corn, it could be positive, or it could be negative. I guess the negative part would be if you get corn, you dry it out, and you plant it, it doesn't grow, would be negative. If you dry it out and you plant it, would be positive. So there could be positive or negative on it. Weeds could be well, dandelion root, very healthy for you. See, we got into a lot of herbs and stuff like that. I might as well get the herbs out of the way. Mom comes over in 74, because it's a year now. I got my own apartment, and Uncle Lou was really happy about that. And it was a big apartment. I had enough money to buy a big. All my kids from high school saying, "This is fantastic! You got a legal size a pool table in your living room. You got this 25-inch television set. You got 3 sets of china. You got this big marijuana plant growing in your window." And that was, I got a $600 spindle bed, all this other stuff I don't want to get into. Money, trying to spitfire. Okay, so then Mom comes over and she said, we had dinner, just me and Mom, and she said, and we're doing dishes. She's doing them, I'm drying them again, and she's looking in the window. Fiesta, I had bright colors. Fiesta yellow in the kitchen, bright red in the dining room, and here in the window is a marijuana plant. And she says, "What's that?" And I said, "It's an herb." She says, "Oh, what do you do?" I'm cooking. So the next day, Uncle Bo, who's a police officer, comes over. We have dinner. He's in the kitchen. He says, "What's that in the window?" Mom says, "It's an herb. He uses it for cooking." And he says, "No, it isn't." And then he looks at me. I look at him. He didn't say anything. He says, Get that plant out of the window. People can see it from outside." I said, "I will, Uncle Bo. I will." So I got to push on that. And it happens sometimes when you have someone in your family, but otherwise you would go to jail. But you see, back then you go to jail, which would have been negative. Now it's medicine. Man delights in making laws. Man delights more in breaking them. Hey, that Caligula, he really wanted to get a hold of Anonymous, didn't he? Huh? Well, he never got a hold of him. And look at that, how the momentum came to where here we are, breaking rules again. Okay. Oh man, I thought I was going to be able to get into that 8th grade with those 5 bullies, but I only had to deal with 3 of them on the stuff. So it's really cute with the nuns and everything else. So I promise I'll get back to that. soon as I can. I don't know when I'm going to be back, but I'll try to be back as soon as possible. Okay. Until then, kids, aloha. Be well.